Coming up with ideas is the easiest part of the process. Inventors and large companies often tell me that they have no shortage of ideas. But the bigger challenge, even for large companies, is to successfully implement and get buy-in and ultimately commercialize those ideas. Stick around to hear tips that will not only help you invent better products that get you to wow and cause companies to say, we have to license that, but make that process as easy as knocking over dominoes. Hi, Lisa Lloyd here with more tips, tricks, and strategies to help you optimize and accelerate your invention licensing business success. If you like what you learned here today, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. It's a free way to support me doing this. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll be the first to know whenever I post a new video each and every week. Licensing really should be a lot like knocking over dominoes. The more time and precision you put into lining them all up, the more beautiful they all fall into place. And the first step is teeing up the wow. Now, in order to get to wow, that wow product, and for companies to say, wow, we have to license that, you have to define the problem first, because it needs to be a big enough problem for enough people that it warrants solving the problem for. You'll also notice that later when you go to license, your sell sheet will include a problem statement, or at least elicit what the problem is, so that when you're communicating with a company, they can say, oh yes, I agree with that problem. I call it gaining buy-in on the problem. If they don't agree that it's a big enough problem for enough people, they're not going to want to license it. So all the way back when you have the idea, it's too late then to develop a wow statement based on the problem statement. It's too late because you're having to fix what you potentially missed earlier. So in the very beginning, you want to start off with, I have an idea, I see a problem, I need to define the problem, and then I need to make sure that it's a big enough problem for enough people. So write a problem statement first. I go into much more detail in this video on how to write a valid definition of a problem that will help you then do your next step, which is evaluating the opportunity. Now, I'm going to put links for a lot of the things that I'm talking about to go into more detail in the description below. So evaluating the opportunity is all about determining if that problem is a big enough problem for enough people. Now that you have it clearly defined, you know exactly how to go find out who those people are and whether or not it's a big enough problem for others that it's worth solving. And then in addition to that, for defining the opportunity, you have to consider what the competition is doing to currently solve the problem. Once you've researched what other people have to say about the problem and gained insights from where their challenges are, whether it's cost or time or frustration, and then you've researched the competition and evaluated how they're aiming at solving that problem or those particular problems with their own set of features and benefits, you can take into consideration those two things. And now it's time to roll up your sleeves for step number 3, which is inventing a wow solution. With a clear list of all of the benefits, which means the features necessary to be better than what the customers who you spoke with told you their current experience is, as well as a clear view of that competitive landscape, it's time to experiment. You have to build things. And this is where I think a lot of people skip a step as well. In my experience, it is absolutely one of the biggest mistakes that inventors make. You have to cut things up, glue them together, and it doesn't necessarily even have to work. But you do need to understand theoretically how it will and be able to prove later that if it were in production, it would do the job you say it would. And one of the easiest ways to do this is with free prototypes. So for example, I did a video that was all about how to do free prototypes where I used paper towel rolls and I used plastic cut up. There's so many ways to test your theories out, even if it only worked one time and broke, but it proved that if it were made of the right material and machined the right way, it would absolutely get the job done. Now you've got the confidence to move forward to do something significant, whether it means spending money on an advanced prototype or a patent itself. But you're not going to move forward until you've at least thoroughly fleshed out an idea that you know hits the mark of solving your defined problem and overcomes all of the challenges that the consumers told you they saw from the competitive landscape that you researched. Make sense? Can you see how we're building a case for where the dominoes will be precisely lined up in a way that as soon as you tip them, everyone will fall down exactly in the position that they're supposed to be in, making a beautiful piece of art. With that kind of confidence, you can write a sell sheet, and now you can start calling on companies and be prepared to have an intelligent, business, sophisticated conversation about what you invented, why you invented it, how it's better than everybody else, and give them no other chance but to say, wow, we have to license that. Now, I get it. I make it sound easier than it is. It's not easy. It is hard work, but it is simple, and you can do this. So, if you like what you learned today, please drop me a note in the comments below, hit the like and subscribe button, and if you want to be notified, hit that notification bell. That will let YouTube notify you whenever I post a new video. And dare to dream and imagine what's possible when powered by innovation.